All right. Today we are squatting only. And I'm excited to record this because it's going to really hold me accountable to train hard. Um, and the squat is a movement that I think a lot of people I think a lot of people don't really understand the squat. There's so many variations, and you could have someone who wants to build massive quads and huge legs, but they squat like a power lifter, because they think automatically that more weight is going to equal bigger legs when that's not true. So, part of the reason why I want to record this is, number one, so I can really hone in my technique, because I want to master the quad dominant squat. Um, Very similar to how Tom Platz squatted, but he wasn't a huge fan of pause squats. I will be pausing because I want to maximize the tension on my quads for now. And then once I build up to a pretty decent weight, then I'll just be, I guess, more free squatting or not so much emphasizing the pause. But that won't be for a while. I really want to master the deep paused squat, and I want it to be the basis of my leg training. If you watch my last video, I go over that I'm not really doing leg extensions right now. I'm just really trying to maximize technique on some key compound movements. And this is the key movement that's going to really drive my quad growth. And it'll be the amount that my quads grow, I think, after 6 months will be determined by the better my form gets. So if my form remains subpar and not an amazing quad dominant squat by the end of 6 months, then I won't have amazing gains in my quads. If my technique really improves, then I'll have amazing quad development. The gym that I train at when I record is very minimalist. So the commercial gym that I go to, it has a hack squat, it has a pendulum squat, better leg extensions. So that's also part of my motivation for just really emphasizing the pause squat, is that when I'm recording, I really don't have anything else that's amazing for stimulating leg growth other than Bulgarian split squats, or I could do like sissy squats, but I'd much rather spend a lot of time right now on mastering my squat for quad growth and making them quad dominant, and really seeing how much can that impact an intermediate lifter. My quads are like, I have naturally big legs, but I haven't really been training amazing for a while. I'm yapping. I'm going to start soon. Um, but my training really has not been great, and so my development overall is a lot less than I want it to be. And so that's going to be part of this filming journey as well, as documenting, training really hard, and the benefits of training really hard, and that as long as you're picking exercises and doing them with really good form and training really really hard, having fun along the way, you can make great gains doing almost any exercise that you want to pick. You just got to pick one and do one. So I'll go over some cues. And keep in mind, this is the first session of squats. My mindset could easily shift over time, because this series and me recording in the first place is going to be all about personal growth. So I'll just go over some cues, and then we'll just start with the bar itself. So I'm doing a high bar squat. I'm trying to really stay tight with my upper back, so I don't want my hands to be too far, because me personally, I have a tendency to round my back. I think it has to do with my posture. And then I'm just trying to keep my shoulder blades pinched, my chest open, but not rounding my back. So my core is stacked. My feet are about hip width apart. You can experiment with distance, but I'm really just trying to have my knees travel over my toes. Squat like this.
They had me in the first half, coach. I'm not even going to lie. I'm doing a voiceover for the remainder of this session because my mic died in the middle of it and I had no clue until after the session was over and I reviewed the footage. So yeah, I guess it died. I haven't tried to record anything with it since, so we'll see. But it's good and it's obviously not what I was intending, but you got to take the good with the bad sometimes. At least I can review the next day and give you guys my thoughts after doing the squat session because as you'll see, I don't go over 135 pounds. Granted, I take it for 2 sets to failure, but it's still only 135 pounds. So I was not expecting to be this sore. So I think that's really a testament of how hard I trained in this session. And the first set was great. The second set, I might have been able to push through and grind through because of how light it is. But, I guess I'm not used to pushing like that with squats. So I was mad during the recording, but given how sore my quads are this next day, I definitely did a good job of stimulating growth. So overall, I'm really happy with it. I got a lot of quality reps in, and that's really what I was looking for. Was not looking to push the weight. I think this set I end up doing 18, and I believe the second set I end up failing at 15. So it's still within 20 reps. And to be honest, especially with training legs, doing a higher rep set is not a bad thing because they're the largest muscle group in your body. The only other muscle that even comes close is the lats, but the lat is one sweeping muscle. With the quads, it's four different quadricep muscles. So, in my opinion, doing higher reps for squats is actually great for hypertrophy because you have to hit so many prime movers with the quads, and realistically, you're only hitting three, the two in the middle and then the one on the outside. With a narrow stance, it's pretty challenging to hit that fourth one that's on the inside. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I was not expecting it to be this sore because it was just 135 pounds, but to me, it's really just verification that I'm on the right track with taking the weight down and really focusing on quality reps. If I was just trying to blast these out and I wasn't pausing at the bottom and doing really slow eccentrics, and even the concentrics are pretty controlled, I don't really rip up out of the bottom. That keeps the tension on the quads, which is really what I'm looking for. I'm looking to squat like like a bodybuilder, like Tom Platz. Before I was messing up with my squats because, like everybody else that is stuck in the beginner phase or the intermediate phase, we don't understand from a hypertrophy perspective the importance of technique. And so I just assumed for so long that, oh, well, if I just get my squat really heavy, then I'll have really big legs. And, my legs are okay, but I haven't really optimized leg training. So I'm really excited to see where these go. Um, yeah, they're going to be my main quad developing movement for a couple of reasons over these next 6 months. Number one is, like I said, I don't have a very good leg extension. There's a lot of slack at the bottom of the leg extension that's in this gym that I train at. So it's not the best for full range of motion leg extensions, but it's also a blessing because I'll really get an opportunity to display, you know, as a intermediate lifter who's just starting their journey to try and break through this plateau. How much does training just one compound movement in the beginning affect hypertrophy? So it'll be kind of a case study. And obviously, coming out of this 6 month training cycle, I'm going to incorporate leg extensions because they're amazing for hypertrophy, and that's what I'm looking for. However, these 6 months are going to be very experimental. Even in this, I'm experimenting with form. Looking back, too much torso bend. So that's going to be something that I really try and lock in, and is going to be another reason why the weight progression is going to be so slow with the squats, because I'm really trying to hammer technique and, over the course of a year or 2 years, just see where that hypertrophy leads me to, just naturally. I'm not really going to, if anything, I'm going to be holding myself back in the weight category. So, yeah, overall, a great session. It wasn't, I did not intend to do a voiceover, but I'm not complaining. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.